What's up, guys? Thanks so much for being here. I'm Ashlee Tate, and if you're new to my channel, I'm a brand strategist who coaches nonprofits, change makers, creatives, all the entrepreneurs, okay? Small business owners, all of you guys. I leave no entrepreneur left behind because here's the deal. When you're building a brand, it really doesn't matter what type of entrepreneur you are, okay? We all have to fit into this little space. We have to find our little space online somewhere and get out there and unleash our message. So in today's video, I want to talk to you all about YouTube versus blogging. And I know this is kind of a big thing. I see a lot of this inside of my group coaching course where people aren't sure really where to start. When I talked about my last video, when we were focusing on getting searchable. And so one of the things that I want to talk to you guys about today is creating something for YouTube and a blog are completely different. And I think it's a great comparison for you guys to kind of have an idea of like where you should start, but both of them are necessary. So, you know, I talk about YouTube's, blogs, and podcasts as being the place to be searchable because that is the number one key. If you want your business to be found, you need to be on a searchable platform. So I say this all the time. I feel like I say it ad nauseum, but it's so important. I don't care if you are a nonprofit. I don't care if you are a drawing artist or something. I don't care what it is that you do. You have got to be on a searchable platform in order for people to be able to find you. So what I also like to refer to this in the course, sometimes I talk about it being findable. Like you need to be able to be found. And you can create all of the information and pictures and all the things on Instagram, and you can be on LinkedIn, but on the World Wide Web is really where you want your information to sit. And these are two of the largest search engines in the world, so you need to be on them. So just to kind of dispel a couple of things. So, you know, Instagram is not a search engine. Facebook is not a search engine. Those are areas to optimize your channel. And those are the second piece of the social method. So the Get Social plan that I explained to you last week is all about really the base of what you need to do. These are like the bones of how to start a strategy online. Now, anyone can take that and I think they would be off to the races. They'd be much better than most people who are starting out on Instagram or starting out on Facebook and trying to share their business and wondering why people are not finding them like organically, wondering why it's taking so much time, wondering why they have to spend, you know, every single day trying to put something out. And if you're not part of that hustle life, okay, and you really want to build something alongside your everyday life, then this is a plan that I would suggest you go back and watch and really kind of grasp and understand. I break down all of the pieces that it really takes to build a brand online and get your business out there and get it in front of the eyeballs that you're trying to reach, the audience you're trying to reach and engage. So with all that being said, let's move into YouTube versus blog, okay? So let's start out with YouTube. I'm a huge fan of YouTube. I love YouTube, so I could probably talk about it forever. I've been doing YouTube for probably the past 4 years, and I will tell you that my very first video that I put up, I did not do anything to it. I never even looked at it again for probably like 2 years, and I had all these comments and everything on there, and I just put up a video on how to start your nonprofit because I had a hard time finding out how to do it, so I wanted to share it with someone else, and I put it on there, and then I just left it. Wasn't even thinking about it, and certainly not thinking about creating a business around it. So did that, left it up there, and that kind of blew up on its own. But then I came back and I was like, oh, okay, I see that like people are interested. I'll start talking about more things related to nonprofits. And I still do talk about some of those things, but I feel that all of the things that I talk about on this channel apply to any entrepreneur, whether you're a nonprofit entrepreneur or you're a for-profit entrepreneur. So that's why I call all of my people change makers, creatives, and small business owners, because that's really how I think of my customers, how I think of my audience. And so anywho, I digress. But the point is that YouTube is a search engine that I can use, anybody can use. It's the second largest search engine as opposed to Google. So when you use YouTube as your main searchable platform, you are able to be on 2 search engines. And that's why I'm always going to put YouTube as number 1. If I could urge you, like I have a lot of people inside of the course that I'm urging to do YouTube, if I think that if they feel like that's their natural set point. And really, YouTube is not difficult. You have to be okay being on camera, of course. You do need a minimal amount of equipment, but if you have an iPhone or any type of phone really at this point, they have good enough cameras where you can start to record. And the most important thing about YouTube that I didn't learn for a very long time is that consistency is the most important and quality comes second. So you need quantity over quality. And I don't mean quantity as in like make 5 videos a week, but you do need to be consistent. So it needs to be 1 video every week and be consistent with that, 2 videos every week and be consistent with that, whatever it's going to be. But that's more important than the actual quality of the video. Although your audio is important, people do want your audio to be good. So that is something that you need to focus on. Make sure you have a good camera to do that or a good phone. All I have on my setup right now is simply a phone and a ring light. And I will try to get a picture inserted here to show you guys what this looks like, but it's really not a big setup. And for a long time, even before that, I just used a webcam and my computer and lifted it up on a little basket or something that I would put up and then put my computer so it was eye level, and then I would just record. And the reason I'm telling you that is because I don't want you to think so deeply about like being worried about like everything has to be perfect. Things don't have to be perfect. The one that I recorded, my very first one, is horrible. But you know, you just do it and people will watch, and if you're giving good information, they'll watch and they'll get the information from it and the algorithm will share it, right? So if we want to move into, so that's why I love YouTube, because you not only are on one search engine, you're on both of the largest search engines. So now I want to move you into blogs. So let's just say you're someone who is much better at writing. By the way, I'm so jealous of you guys because I wish I was a good writer. I feel like writing is like the most important thing you can possibly do in today's age, because everything comes down to writing, right? You have to outline your videos, you have to write to be found on Google for the most part, writing on Medium, and then it takes away all of the camera shy stuff, all of the nervousness, all of that. You can just write your thoughts and move on from it, right? So you guys are pretty lucky. You guys are a lucky little group. Now, the benefit of writing is that you are giving Google more information than I am on my video, unless I decide to transcribe my video. So the big thing is, yes, for blogging, you are writing content on a blog on your website, or you're writing content on, say, Medium or something like that. But all of that content that you write is searchable. And so Google can then crawl it with its SEO and all that, and you can be found. So if someone types in how to do X and you wrote an article on how to do X, you have a much better chance of being found. Now, what I see a lot is a lot of people starting on Instagram or starting on Facebook, and that's okay to start there. But when you really want to create a strategy, you really need to come up with like a true strategy. And I would, of course, recommend the Get Social strategy. So you're going to need to figure out where you're going to be searchable first, and then use that content to then put other places and optimize it in these optimization tools like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of those places. They're just places to spread your message, right? But your main piece needs to be on a searchable platform. YouTube is a lot of fun, and once you get past the fear of being on camera or the fear of what people are gonna think, which I don't think you should have either one of those issues, because trust me, you can post a YouTube video and not tell anybody like I did at first, and people will still find that video. It may be harder, but if you set it up the way that it's supposed to be set up, you don't have to necessarily talk to your family and friends about it and tell everybody that you posted on YouTube. You can just post it and start that way if it's more comfortable for you. Blogging is the same exact situation. Because you are in a searchable platform, you don't have to announce that you have started a blog or that now you're writing and everyone go check it out. Now, it will certainly boost things, and it will optimize how quickly that boost is going to be taken advantage of, and like when you can see the results when you start YouTube or you start a blog. Now, blogging and YouTubing for me feel like they are the same amount of time, because if you're not a great writer and you struggle with like putting your thoughts in order or whatever, it's going to take you a little bit longer to actually write the article, edit the article, upload the article, and all the things that go along with blogging. But if you are an excellent writer, and you have a hard time speaking, I feel like the time really does kind of even out, because you still have to make the video, get over the fear of making the video, upload the video, edit the video, all the things that go along with YouTube. So it weighs out, but really here, the most important thing you can do when you decide on YouTube or a blog is really to understand what your best mode of creation is. Are you a better writer or are you a better speaker? How do you best express yourself? And this is probably one of the first questions I ask inside of the course. And we work through it in lots of different ways. People sometimes will just try it out to see if they like YouTube or like the video creation. And I'm gonna tell you, you're not gonna like it on the first try. I can just tell you that right now. You're not gonna like it on the first try, but you have to be confident enough to say, you know what? I have a message to share. This is my mode of communication. This is how I like to communicate, and I'm just gonna do it. Realize that there are millions of other people out there that are doing the same exact thing you're doing. The market is not saturated for either a blog or YouTube. You have something special to share, and no one's gonna do it the way that you do it. So please just take a chance on yourself. Choose one of these, and I promise you will not regret it. I promise. So next week, I'm going to be talking about the difference between podcasting and YouTube, and you can check that video out when it comes out next week. I hope this helped you, and I want to know from you, which one would you prefer? Like, do you prefer to do YouTube or do you prefer to do blogging? Are you a writer or are you a speaker? I would love to know. This is always so interesting to me. So anyway, and if you would like specific help getting your business up and running and designing your life and business on purpose, I would love to help coach you inside of the Unleash Your Profit course. And if you're a change maker setting up a nonprofit and you need help with that, or you'd like someone to walk you through each step, I do have a 30-day course that walks you through every step of the way from idea to filing so that you don't miss a step. I've been there and I know how hard that can be. So if that's you, go ahead and go to my website for both of those courses at ashleetate.com. And inside of the Unleash Your Profit course, again, for my change makers out there, yes, that is available for you as well. We do teach you how to monetize your mission so that you can learn how to make money for your organization. Lastly, if you're not ready for any of that, I'd love to have you guys come and join us in the tribe. There are over 700 other entrepreneurs in there who are also on their journey of unleashing their something amazing, and we would love to be along on your journey with you. So I hope to see you in there, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.